I've been laughing about this almost my whole marriage, maybe. And since I had Gideon, if you meet my husband or my son, you'll know that they can make a friend in 30 seconds. And I'm just not exactly like that, but give them like 3 minutes and they'll know that you raise chickens, what kinds of chickens you have, that you feed your chickens organic fermented chicken food. And for me, it's always taken so much longer to formulate friendships. I think it's just the introvert in me. Smaller groups are better for me. And so part of the reason I think that we have always sought out small groups is for me. I will say that we live in a place for a year before we actually make deeper connections, and it's usually about that 9 month mark that we say, we need a small group, um, because we want kind of that, yeah, just that deeper connection, if that makes sense. Um, Except now I forgot the question that we're answering. What's the question?
How does it keep us connected? Feel connected.
And therefore, woo, I feel more connected at church because I can walk in, and while I'm surrounded by a lot of friendly faces at church, I don't know everyone as well as the people in the small group, and that introverted part of me feels a little bit more grounded when I walk in and I see somebody that I know. And it allows me to be a little bit more brave to talk to someone on a Sunday morning that I don't know, because I know that there are some folks there that I do know and know me well. Um, and so it also, secondly, um, we talked about this like service aspect before, but last VBS last year, I knew from talking to some friends that they really wanted to volunteer for VBS, but they had a really little kid that wasn't old enough for VBS. And so it allowed me to volunteer and say, hey, I can provide nursery care, and then you can help teach a VBS class. And so we were able to solve an issue, that could have been problematic ish, because we knew each other's needs. It helped us to be more involved
Mm-hmm.
in things.
Well, I think too, like, uh, again, it's this idea of life together. The people in your church family should be that family, similar shared experiences. And so, for example, um, on a Sunday, you hear a common message, common word that should be influencing and a topic of some level of conversation throughout the week. And so, one of the cool things about having a small group with some people that are close to you is you can again have a common thread of influence in your life, so you can have those conversations and take it just a little bit deeper. I think we've all been guilty at some point in time of just going on Sunday and sitting and listening, or just sitting, and not really doing anything with what's shared from the pulpit or from the Bible. And one of the things that being in a small group gives you the ability to do is to say, this is going to be relevant for at some point later in the week when I can address it again. Um, that's when that growth happens. That's what we're going for. We're trying to develop and grow on our journey with Christ, and that's what we can do together as iron sharpening iron and growing together as believers. And so, what I would say, um, if any of you are considering being a part of a small group, if any of you feel a void of relationship of people that are not blood kin of you, um, consider joining a small group. Don't consider it, join a small group. Um, Done well, done correctly, small group relationships are, in my experience, deeper than my own sibling relationships, because not necessarily are my siblings, my blood siblings, um, Christ-centered relationships, but the depth of a Christ-centered relationship is something that goes far beyond the sibling relationship or a friend that you just met at the store. So get into a small group, build a relationship, be intentional. That's my challenge.
Yeah. Give it a shot. What have you got to lose? By thinking about where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. Like, our time is really valuable. Our time is a treasure. But when you invest in something that is kingdom worthy, it's really profound and really good. And so, yeah, we'd challenge you to give small groups a shot, um, because it's good, and we're really confident that you'll love it.
Yeah, it's not so much what have you got to lose, is what are you going to gain?
True.
And in our experience, you're getting a lot. You gain lifelong relationship, lifelong friendship, and someone to share life together. And that's a big deal. So, Trinity, let's do some small groups.